Good day, colleagues. I hope everybody's doing well and Happy New Year again. Hope that you and your family members, everybody is staying healthy. So, best wishes. So, we're off to another, I guess, second half of the year in academics, and just a couple of quick updates here. The first one is actually, I want to talk about one of our colleagues, Dino. And I know some of you are aware of what Dino has gone through late last year, I would say. So I just want to give you a quick update and want to recognize him actually in this recording, his courage and his perseverance and his resilience. So Dino had a bit of a condition after we came back from Seattle. He met with a small cut in his room, actually, and that infected his foot. And so when he came back home, one thing led to another. The infection wouldn't heal. The long and short is that his leg ended up being amputated, and so it was obviously a big event, a big surgery. Many of you in his department have already reached out to him. Others obviously wouldn't have known, and that's something that I wouldn't have put down in an emails. But I did get his permission to talk about him today, so here I am. So Dino is doing quite well. He's teaching, he's back to work, and that speaks to his courage. So I really want to, Dino, I'm speaking, Dino, specifically to you. I really admire you as a colleague. I admire your courage, and I'm certain that all of your colleagues will be thrilled to hear of your recovery. A couple of things on a lighter note also about Dino. These are things that I didn't know about him. And I've fallen in love with those courageous items that he's done. So he's next week he'll be fitted with 2 prosthetics, and some of you know also that Dino likes to swim butterfly strokes, and so he's getting 2 prosthetics. One is so he could swim properly in the pool, so he could do his leg motion as he's swimming in the pool. So just really blown away with that. He's not worried about the natural foot, this, that, or the other. He's focused on the positive, and just spoke to him today, actually earlier in the morning, just all smiles. And number 2, which was a complete and utter shock to me, was the fact that he mentioned to me that he's going to test for his black belt. And given that he's in logistics, I thought, okay, you're going to take your Six Sigma black belt. Kind of thing. Nope, it's the actual kick your butt black belt, and he's getting another prosthetic fitted so he could test out for his black belt. Isn't that amazing? I mean, that is so wonderful to have a colleague like that amongst us. So let's all recognize in your own way. Drop him a note, and offer a sentence of support to him. Just really proud of you, Dino. Keep it going. All right, so moving on to the business of the college. The April meeting that we would ordinarily have had on campus here, as in the past or the previous to COVID days, unfortunately, that's going to be virtual this year. Unfortunately, we're hoping, obviously, to see all the colleagues once again, but that's not going to be the case. So we will meet virtually. We're still working through the plans. I have learned quite a bit, I would say, from COVID and how taxing having these long Zoom meetings are. So we're just kind of figuring out how we can get to the business really quick, and maybe over a couple of days, 2 short meetings, and send you a bunch of material in advance to study and have any questions over. So you can look forward to that soon enough. We'll be working on the agenda. And if you have something on the that you would like to see on the agenda, please feel free to pass that along to either Amanda, Michelle, Jules, or even myself, if you want to. So again, the April meeting for the college is going to be virtual. We've been talking about enrollments, so here we are once more. The enrollments, it seems like we've kind of bottomed out after a long decline. Just going over the data almost on a daily basis with Jules. In that sense, we had the year 2021 was the year where we kind of fell off, as a college. We went from our greatest loss was in 2021. That's kind of interesting, and that's people coming out of COVID, economic situation, family situations, and then obviously the economy has been strong. Uh, don't really know. I mean, if I couldn't produce any scientific evidence as to those were all the reasons, but that's what I keep reading in the literature. That's what I keep reading in Chronicle and some of the higher eds. So I guess that's what it is. It's small comfort to us, obviously, right? Because it's impacting some of the things that we would like to do. But it seems like we bottomed out. So where are we year to date as compared to last year? So I'm just going to read off a couple of numbers. In terms of registrations, we're only about 1,000 short from where we were last year. So I think we can probably make that up in the next term or so. So in terms of registration, I feel like we'll be even by the end of this academic year from last year. So that's, again, that's a sign of a steep slope kind of flattening out at this point. A good sign. We obviously have work to do. In terms of total number of students, we're still down from last year to this year, about 600-700 students down. So everybody's working hard to try to bring that number up. And in terms of new students, this academic year, we're on par with where we were last year. So again, we just haven't quite recovered from some of the steep losses that we've had, but we're working with everybody from marketing to enrollment management to see if we can turn that around and back up. So that's on the enrollment numbers. Obviously, it behooves all of us. We're a business school, so what I'm about to say really doesn't need to be said. It's basic understanding that there are two ways that we can turn this around. Number one is to get more new students in. That's an obvious statement. And second one really is to keep more of the students that have matriculated into the system, and that means we've talked about that virtually every time that we meet is if we can lower our attrition rate and increase the retention rate a little bit, that would also help. So just continue to engage with your students. I encourage you to continue to engage, look for new ways of exciting your students and building a partnership with them, some relationship with them, so they feel part of the ecosystem more so than they have in the past. So in terms of all the other student feedback, that's been pretty positive. So everybody's doing a great job, but our numbers are where we are, so we need to figure out. On that, I'm also looking forward to the various reports from committees on the strategic plan for the next 5 years. So about a month to go on that one, and I'm excited to see what my colleagues produce. Undoubtedly, some ideas are going to be fantastic, and I'm excited to look forward to those. All right, on the, that we have a new expanded student council. There are 7 members now. So if you have some things, if you have ideas of how we can even more engage our student council, then please share those ideas with Dr. Vignes, Rachel Vignes, because she's the one, she liaises with them obviously on an ongoing basis. But if you feel like there is a project assignment, something that they could work on, obviously they're students, they're not employees, so we got to be careful about what we can ask them, what we can't ask them. But they're an enthusiastic group. They want to do more. They want to get more involved. So let's figure out how we can get them more involved on that one. Vantage Point, that was yesterday, and obviously I'm recording it for next week, so I just gave myself away on that one. Vantage Point, thank you for those of you who attended it. I continue to encourage you and your students, if you get a chance, to announce it in your classes. The more attendees we have, I think the bigger the influence is. It's not about marketing. We don't publish that. We don't say we had 1,000 students or 1,000 attendees attend a certain webinar. It's really more about influencing faculty and students and letting them know as to where our head is collectively as a college. It was a great conversation. So thank you to Petter. Thank you to Mary. Some other people from other units came by as well, and they really liked that session, and really excited about the next session that will be happening, the conversation. So again, thank you to everyone who attended it, and I continue to encourage you to make some time to attend the future ones. As a reminder, all these recordings are available on our YouTube channel. So if you didn't get a chance to attend it live, you can always go back and look at it. Okay. On the, speaking of the students, the Student Insight Survey that Rachel and Michelle have been diligently pursuing. So in the fall, we have 217 responses thus far. And Rachel is putting together a report that we'll share with the entire college as soon as it becomes available. And I'm told by the end of January. So hopefully next week. And once I've had a chance to review it, we'll share with each and every one of you what the student feedback is and where there might be some areas of improvement that we could work on potentially. Right, and in terms of success stories, just continue to, again, stay in touch with your students, get to know your students, and if you feel like you have a student who deserves some special recognition, then please reach out to Rachel with that information. We want to recognize as many students in as many places as we possibly can. So we want to advertise you, the faculty, we want to advertise the work that you do as colleagues and faculty, and obviously we want to advertise our students because all and everything that we're doing is for the benefit of students. So if you have a student, please reach out. It could be an interesting story. It could be like a Dino story, a courageous story. It could be an accomplishment. It could be an academic accomplishment, professional accomplishment, something. Reach out because we never have enough of those. We want to post those on LinkedIn. We can post those on newsletters. We can post those in Ernie. And again, that's a way to expand our brand. Speaking of LinkedIn, I just said that. Our new LinkedIn is out there. If you haven't had a chance to look at it, please look at it. We are posting or refreshing, posting, however you want to call that, twice a week. So again, there is an opportunity, and I continue to get some emails. Thank you to my colleagues who have submitted materials to Michelle for ideas and accomplishments and so on, or even feeds, right, that they would like to see. Fantastic. Keep them coming. Again, our idea is to make sure that we post at least 2 new things on LinkedIn every week, at least. And there may be weeks where we post 10 things, for example. But we want to make sure that we post at least 2 things every week. So if you have an amazing story, an amazing thread, an interesting thread, could even be an academic, and we could make a reference to it. So please keep that in mind. And let's see. All right, and the last thing that I see in my notes is about the student newsletter. So we're working on the one for January. That's being written as I speak to this recording. So again, you know, that's something that we all can contribute to. And what we do is we basically have 4 guiding principles in that. You know, we have obviously we want a newsletter is a way for us to brand ourselves, but more importantly, we want the students to know that they're getting a great education at a great in a great college. So we want to reinforce that you're in a particular program, and it's a great program because of this. We want to highlight a couple of the programs. We want there's always something that we want to put there that the students would find useful, whether it's coaching, whether it's leadership, whether it's a particular skill set, whether it could be a financial function or something that students can walk away with and find useful. And obviously the last one is any kind of help that students need. We always have a section on that. So, and we want to feature a student. We want to feature a student. And this one, we're going to feature 2 40 under 40. That's an example of that. All in all, what we hope to accomplish is to keep the students connected, to let them know that they're in a great place, they're getting a great education, maybe talk about a program, which is also to advance, talk about a faculty, for example. Could be a faculty, did you know that this person is working on a particular idea? So that's, and then obviously, talking about something that the students can walk away. And the last thing I'll say on that one is, and I told this to our colleagues outside my office yesterday, is back in the day when there used to be paper newspapers, I would go on every Sunday. I'd pay $1.75, $2.25, whatever that was, depending on the city. And one of the things that I most enjoyed, obviously I enjoyed reading it. There was a parade section in there in the day. That was joyful to read. But what was really, and I'm talking years and years ago, as a younger person, I really enjoyed was there was a section in the comics which was what's the difference, and they had two, similarly looking pictures, and then you just mark out what those differences are. In any case, what a simple concept, but what a powerful concept, right? Because it worked. It forced people like me to go and buy the entire newspaper, even if I didn't read the rest of it, and that's what we want. Not necessarily, we don't not want the students. We want the students to read the entire newsletter that we submit to them, but we also want them to take away in something. Okay, this was a good hint. Do this to grow professionally, personally, and become a better student, become a better person, become a better leader, and so on. So, ideas. Okay, ideas. Nobody here in any organization, any person has all the ideas. I don't. I'm on record. I'm going to say it again. I don't have all the ideas. So the team doesn't have all the ideas. So we can just keep thinking about it, please. So we appreciate your help on that one. And lastly, if you have any questions for me, feel free to drop me a note. I'm happy to chat. Usually on the computer, staring at my screen about 6 hours a day. So whenever the time allows, I'm happy to chat with any of my colleagues above and beyond the one-on-ones that we usually schedule. And so we do that about twice a year. But if you want to reach out about anything, just a Zoom call away, just a phone call away. So don't ever hesitate, please. And with that, we want to close this session. Thank you. It turned out to be longer than what I wanted to be, but I get excited in some of these recordings. So here we go. But again, thank you for being part of the college. Thank you for everything that you do for the college, for the university, for our students. We wouldn't be where we are. Oh, incidentally, one last thing. See, there's always something more to talk about. You will see the US News ranking reports. They have come out. They are on the website. So if you're curious, you can go to the website, look at it. We moved up a couple of notches in the MBA program. Our non-graduate programs are roughly where they are. Our undergraduate BSA BA is number 17, something to be proud of. And incidentally, when you're looking at these numbers and looking at these rankings and you're thinking, what the heck? I want you to recognize that from about 2 years ago, there are 100 more schools that are submitting to the US News and World Report. So we've maintained our relative spot on those rankings, which is we've been in the top third in most of our recognitions, and we maintain that. So that's something to be proud of. But obviously we have room to grow, and we'll continue to grow in that regard. But that is something that we should all be proud of. And again, all of those rankings, recognitions really can't be there unless the team is working as a team. So this is a great team. Thank you. And I look forward to continuing to work with you and moving the college forward. So with that, have a great month of February. Enjoy, stay healthy, stay well, and stay engaged.